Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now I'll be talking about the coming bullish cross in the daily MACD that is just about to happen. I will also be looking at what we could be expecting for the recovery out of this correction. All of that and more in this video, so definitely stick around all the way to the end of this video so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And just before you jump into it, you might as well leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of this year, and we are getting so close, so it would seriously be a big help if you could just check if you're subscribed, and obviously it costs you nothing. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 6-hour time frame, and what we have here is obviously that same descending parallel channel that we've been talking about over the past few days, along with the bullish divergence that we have been also talking about over the last few days. So basically, if you've been watching my last few Bitcoin update videos, nothing much has changed in the immediate short term, but for the brand new viewers on the channel, what this means for Bitcoin, at least in the shorter term, is the fact that we're technically still in a short-term downtrend, because anytime we're making lower highs and lower lows on the chart, that's exactly what a downtrend is. So we haven't actually confirmed a recovery just yet or anything like that, but having this massive bullish divergence forming on the 6-hour chart, this is also visible on the 12-hour chart and even now on the daily chart. This means that possibly in the coming weeks, we could be due for reduced selling pressure, which either means a lot of sideways price action is still to come, or this could mean that Bitcoin is bottoming out and preparing for the next move back to the upside in the coming weeks and months. Now, what's another signal that we could look at to help confirm a recovery beginning? Well, that would be looking at the daily MACD, and right now we are beginning to cross into the bullish territory, as we are seeing that bullish cross in the daily MACD right now. But I want to make it clear that this isn't confirmed until we see a daily candle close and we start the next daily candle. So it's still a waiting game at the moment to help confirm this bullish cross. But yes, right now at the time of filming this video, we are potentially in the middle of having a bullish cross in the daily MACD. And if this bullish cross does end up getting confirmed, then this will be the first significant bullish cross in the daily MACD that we've seen since the end of September. Now, I say significant bullish cross because technically we had a small bullish cross for a couple days in the middle of November back there, but obviously that didn't last very long, as you can see, and we're straight back into the red within a few days. But when you're talking about a bullish cross when the MACD is in negative territory, so basically when we're seeing the bullish cross when the MACD is on the bottom half of the histogram, then that is usually a very bullish signal for the coming weeks and months. You can simply take a look at the last few times that we've seen that. First of all, the end of September, that turned out to be a great buy signal. Also at the end of May leading into June, despite the fact that we stayed at those sort of prices for the next 1.5 months, generally speaking, that was still a really good time to dollar cost average into Bitcoin at those prices. So once again, if this bullish cross ends up getting confirmed after we see the daily candle close, then that is clearly a bullish signal for Bitcoin in the coming weeks and months. This bullish cross doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to begin to explode to the upside tomorrow, but what it does mean is that Bitcoin is potentially reaching at least a short-term bottom here, and we could be due for at least some sort of relief rally back to the upside in the coming weeks. Not to mention that we are running into major support at around 45,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. That is the 55-week simple moving average. That's what this red line is just here. And back in July, Bitcoin bottomed out at this exact moving average. So obviously, if the Bitcoin price can see a bounce from that 45K level, that would be a very bullish signal, something like what we saw at the end of July. On top of that, there is still a lot of fear in the Bitcoin market. Today, looking at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we have bounced back up into the fear zone, which is technically not as bad as extreme fear, which is where we were yesterday. But looking at this daily Bitcoin chart just here, these green zones show us the times that the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index was either sitting in extreme fear or very close to extreme fear. I've mentioned this chart time and time again on the channel, so the subscribers that have been watching my other Bitcoin update videos would already know that all of these times just here that we were sitting in extreme fear turned out to be amazing buying opportunities for the longer term. And what's another signal that we could take a look at to help confirm a recovery beginning? Well, that would be to look at the daily RSI. Right now, technically speaking, the daily RSI is still trending to the downside. We haven't really confirmed a new uptrend just yet. But with that being said, when you're zooming in a little bit, you can see that bullish divergence that we were just talking about with the higher lows in the RSI and the lower lows forming in the price action. And by the way, the last time Bitcoin saw a bullish divergence on the daily time frame was back in the middle of this year when Bitcoin was bottoming out. And that was also the last time that we saw the daily RSI for Bitcoin enter into oversold territories, which is exactly what happened just last week. And then something to help confirm that we are possibly beginning a recovery is when we eventually break above this descending line of resistance in the daily RSI, coming in at about 41. All of these other times back here, we had massive descending lines of resistance in the daily RSI as the Bitcoin Bitcoin price was looking more bearish, but then we normally see the daily RSI reach towards oversold areas, if not into oversold areas. And once the Bitcoin RSI on the daily time frame finally starts breaking above that descending line of resistance, that can act as a very bullish signal, showing us that Bitcoin is finally regaining strength and that we're getting ready for another push to the upside. As you can see, both of these times when the RSI broke above this point of resistance, that was when the Bitcoin price was just beginning to flip bullish again. So that is also something that I am paying attention to moving forward for Bitcoin to possibly help confirm a recovery beginning later on, possibly in the coming weeks. And just taking a quick look at the Bitcoin order books across all of these exchanges, we have a huge buy wall coming in at about 45,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, which for the beginners out there, that just means there's a lot of money wanting to buy Bitcoin at about 45,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. And what's so important about 45,000 besides these buy orders? Well, remember, we've got the 55-week SMA coming in close to 45K. And on top of that, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from that July low up to the all-time high for Bitcoin, what we have is the golden pocket, the most important Fibonacci level, coming in at almost exactly 45,000 US dollars. So all of this bearish price action that we've seen over the past 1 month approximately is basically just a standard pullback right into the golden pocket. This is something that we see time and time again for Bitcoin, and that is actually something that we saw multiple times throughout the 2017 bull market. So basically, we have a massive amount of support coming in at around 44 to 45,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So it is very important for Bitcoin to remain above 45K. And honestly, while Bitcoin is still trading above 44 to 45,000, I am still leaning very bullish for the coming weeks and months. That would only change if we break below that golden pocket, which right now we haven't done that. Now looking at more of a bearish perspective for Bitcoin, and to do that, we really need to look at the traditional markets. This is the S&P 500 on the daily time frame, and you can see that just before the weekend, we did have a slight pullback in the markets, which is still confirming that major level of resistance coming in at just above 4,700. And looking in the daily RSI for the S&P 500, we're still holding below that descending line of resistance. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the stock markets do tomorrow. If they do end up breaking out to the upside here above these points of resistance, then that will be very bullish for not just the stock market, but also for the crypto markets. Because for any brand new viewers on the channel, if you don't already know, the stock market and the Bitcoin price is correlated most of the time. For example, in the second half of July, both the stock market and Bitcoin bottomed out at almost the exact same day. And then the stock market flipped bullish leading into August, exactly like what Bitcoin was doing. And then we flipped bearish into September, which, as you might have guessed, Bitcoin did the exact same thing. And then bullish in October, just like what Bitcoin did. And now bearish in late November leading into December. And one of the main reasons why the stock market and Bitcoin are pretty well correlated is because of the US dollar. If people want to sell stocks, they normally sell into the US dollar, which can help increase the value of the US dollar if more and more people are wanting to obtain US dollars. And that's exactly what we have seen recently with the US dollar index flipping this previous line of resistance into new support. So for the bulls out there, ideally we would like to see the stock market break out above these points of resistance, which would likely bring the US dollar to the downside. And then if the US dollar falls to the downside, even if Bitcoin doesn't really do that much, if it's paired against something else, the US dollar, which is falling, then that would create the effect of Bitcoin rising against the US dollar. But as of right now, at the time of filming this video, we are currently not seeing that. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be interesting to watch the stock market and the US dollar index going into the new week. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed and subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on if you are new. By doing that, you're going to be getting all of this valuable content every single day, and you'll also be helping the crypto world community cross over 100,000 subscribers, which once again, that is the goal for the end of this year. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.